Hi guys, I'm going to give you an overview of this infographic today. It is from John Hattie's research. Before I give you an overview, I'm going to tell you briefly why I'm showing this to you. First and foremost, it is going to show us the strategies that have a high impact on student achievement. And second, it will highlight some of the strategies and practices that are on the LPS, Instructional Practices document. Many of you guys have seen this document before, but what you may not know is that we are putting together a site that's hopefully helpful to you in trying to figure out how to implement these practices into your classroom. So I'm not going to go over this site today, but I did want to show you basically what it looks like. The practices are at the top. And again, many of these practices are practices that are on John Hattie's high impact instructional strategies and practices. Before I go into the infographic, I do want to show you the numbers behind the research, just to show you how powerful these strategies actually are. In John Hattie's research, over 80 million students were used over a 15-year period of time as they studied these practices. And over 50,000 studies were used. So it definitely has validity, and it has the research, really strong research behind it. So let me show you the infographic. What you need to know is anything over a 0.4 is said to have a high impact on student achievement. So that's everything on the right side of this circle here. And then everything on the left side has below a 0.4 impact on student achievement. That doesn't mean it does not have any impact, it just has less impact, and it's not, I guess the best way to say it is these over here have the most bang for our buck. So I just wanted to highlight some of them. The top one is self-reported grades. I'm going to show you a video here in a second of what that actually is. Others include classroom discussion, phonics instruction, feedback, metacognitive strategies. Those are our reading strategies, our thinking strategies. Other things include questioning, and can't quite see it down here, but cooperative learning is down here. And make sure you take a look at these things over here that have a less impact on student achievement. These two right here are the lowest, just FYI for you there. So let me show you a quick video on self-reported grades, because that one is kind of hard to understand what it actually is, and you're going to hear from John Hattie himself.
Self-reported grades comes out at the top of all influences. Now what that means is, right now, I've taught a series of lessons, I'm going to give you a test. Now before you do the test, I want you to predict what grade you're going to get. Kids are incredibly accurate at doing that. In fact, the most accurate thing that we do in our whole system is they know how they're going to perform. Now that's great, but on the other hand, it raises a couple of questions. The first is, you've got to seriously ask why we test kids. In fact, my argument is very simple. The only reason you test a kid in the classroom is to find out what you, the teacher, has done well, what you haven't done well, and with whom. There's not much point doing it for the kids because they know. But here's the killer. What students so often do is they set safe targets. They say, for instance, like we used to do in our university days, well, if I can get a C here, I'm doing okay. I haven't done a lot of work, so just passing's okay. Or maybe I can get a B+. And they set safe targets. Our job, I believe, is to mess that up. Our job is to never meet the needs of kids. It's never to help kids reach their potential. Our job is to help kids exceed what they think they can do. And so understanding what targets they set when they go about their work is important, and our job is to say they can do a lot better, which means giving them the confidence they can do it. Obviously teaching them the skills so they can do it. If I was redoing it again, I'd probably relabel self-reported grades as student expectations, because that's really what they are, is the expectations students set for their work. And my major and loud message is that we need to get in front of that. We need to raise those expectations and give the students the confidence and the skills and the understandings that they can exceed. Doing their best is never good enough.
So let me just tell you again, this infographic will be attached to the email. Take a look at it because it has some really interesting things that might make you consider instruction. Thanks, guys.